Hello everyone and welcome. This is Christine with Patter Crafts, and today I'm here with a design team project for Scrapping for Less. Today we are going to be making what I can call chocolate treat sleeves. I'm not sure if they have another name, and I'm not using the brand name in my title because I just don't know how that actually works with, making a public post. So we're just going to call these chocolate treats, little chocolate candies. Um, they are pretty distinct, so I'm sure you know exactly what they are. Um, anyway, we are going to wrap these chocolate candies in this pattern paper from the Scrapping for Less, one of the mini collections in the Scrapping for Less July 2020 card kit. This pattern paper is called Tropical Fruit. I do believe this pattern paper is still available in the store. At least at the time I checked during recording of this video, it was still available. And this is so fun. It's perfect for some August little treats. So we're going to go ahead and use that pattern paper today. So to start my project, I'm going to be wrapping all of my little candy, and to start that, I need to cut my paper to be 1 inch by 3 inches for this particular candy. So I try, when I'm making these in the past, I try to use up scrap paper, like pieces of scraps, because we're only looking for a 1 by 3 piece. So we all usually have plenty of scraps we can make that from. This particular collection, I didn't really have a lot of scraps, so we're just kind of taking 1 inch off of each one of these little panels, and then I'm cutting them in half and just kind of going a little bit back and forth until I have the number of papers I need. And then I found that one at the bottom, like underneath my trimmer, and I was like, oh, I missed one. But anyway, we'll put that aside for another project on another day. So once I have all my little pieces of paper cut, we're going to go ahead and wrap the candies. This is fairly easy depending on how thick your cardstock is. And this cardstock, this is the Scrapping for Less cardstock. It bends really easy around the candies. I'm used to usually having to kind of curve it a little bit. So you usually use a bone folder or a pen and just give that a little curl and help wrap it around the candy. The Scrapping for Less paper is easy enough to kind of do that just with your hands, but I've also found I really didn't have to do that either. Like it bent pretty well around each one of the candies. And then I am using my ATG to glue those pieces on. I wouldn't recommend using liquid glue because you'd have to sit there and hold it and wait for it to dry, especially depending on how thick your paper is. If it's really thin like copy paper, you might be able to get away with it. I also didn't know how I felt about putting liquid glue there. I wouldn't want it to seep under the wrapper and maybe get on the chocolate. But for most of you know, I'm not usually a liquid glue fan. I don't tend to use a lot of liquid glue, so ATG is usually my go-to. So now that I have all my candies wrapped, I'm going to get my sleeves going. Now these cello sleeves, they are found in your big box store. This particular one that I purchased advertises it's good for those chocolate covered pretzels. And I know they're about 2¼ inches wide. I'm not exactly sure how long. It could be like maybe around 7 inches long. It might be a little longer. I don't, but you'll see them. And then you can fit approximately 8 candies in here. So we are, I cut down some, I don't know why I can't talk. We're cutting down some cardstock to put underneath the chocolate. It just gives a little bit of stability. If you didn't have that there and then you went to seal this thing would just kind of go all over the place. So that little bit of cardstock gives a little bit of stability and you can actually hold them up. And if you want a little bit of added stability, you could score those at like 1/8 of an inch on each side on that long side and make like a little tiny little wall to hold those in, and that might help even more. I have done it both ways, and it doesn't, this way for me is a little bit easier, and it doesn't make such a big difference that I'm going to take the time to score it out of 1/8 of an inch and try to squeeze it into that bag. So now that my little chocolates are all done, I want to get some to and from tags made. I am using the smallest tag die that I could find. I know I have one a little smaller and it probably would have gone a little bit better with my sleeves, but I couldn't find it, so we're just using this one here. So I always, when I'm making tags, I always cut one from the 100-pound white cardstock. I kind of call that my tag base. And then I add my pattern paper on top. Now I want to have a little bit of, a breakup in that pattern paper. So we're adding another piece of pattern paper to the corner. I've cut it at an angle, and then we're going to go ahead and add some white cardstock to split those two patterns up. But this is also going to be a great place where I could write my to and from. So I'm just grabbing a Copic multi-liner pen here to write to and from. I have a really thin Sharpie, but it's kind of drying out. So I just switched over to that because it would happen to be right there. So same thing with my second tag, except I'm using the busier paper for the whole piece, and then I've got a little bit more of a tame piece for my little corner. I thought having that little angle would be really fun. So we'll go ahead and again add that little strip of white paper. This white paper I just eyeballed. I have no idea exactly the measurement. I just wanted it to be thick enough where I could write to and from. Once these are all set, of course, we are going to grab some ribbon. I'm just choosing some white ribbon from my stash, and we'll add some little ribbon to the top. I don't tend to put my tags on with the ribbon. It's just kind of for decoration. I'll just use some tape. So thank you so very much for joining me today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. But until next time, everyone, have a great day. Bye.